Hello, welcome to Pilates. We're starting standing today. What I want you to do is I want you to line up your feet 100% with each other. You want them right up under your pelvis. A sneaky way to get them lined up with your hip joint is if you actually start with your feet right tight together, then you lift your toes and separate them. And then you lift your heels and separate them and line them up with your toes. You're lined up with your feet pretty much right in alignment with your hip joint, which is inside your body, not the outside edge like clothing manufacturers make us think. Now from there, I want you to pick something eye level in front of you, look at it, press through the center of your foot, out through the top of your head. You'll notice that causes some tensioning through your legs, some tensioning through the torso, and then just let your arms hang and be soft. And we're gonna breathe. Inhale through your nose to expand your ribs. Exhale to let the ribs soften and drop. Ideally, if your shoulder girdle is soft, right? So shoulder girdle is collarbones and shoulder blades and everything that connects to them. Your arms will just kind of gently float away from your body and towards your body as you breathe. We'll do one more of those. And then we're going to amplify the arms. So you're just going to inhale, lift them, and amplify the breath as well. And 10, we're going to do our standing imprint. So I want you to bend your knees, bring your hands to the front of your legs. You're going to be on a bit of a diagonal lean here from head to tail. And we're just going to inhale to imprint and exhale neutral. Now remember, imprint is just a subtle little movement of the low back where we flatten it a little bit and let its natural curve come back. Inhale, imprint, exhale, neutral. If you're having a hard time getting that low back movement, sometimes it's quite stiff. A little pressure of the hands into your legs will help that. Inhale, imprint, exhale, neutral, imprint, and neutral. One more here, imprint, and neutral. Now I want you to stand up straighter, keep softness in your knees, and we'll just go to a little sway through our hips just to get them warmed up, right? This is a standing hip release. Hip releases are always about just trying to get the tissue around your hips to soften, right? Because we have tissue front, back, inside, outside. Let's take the feet a little bit wider, turn your knees and toes out, soft knees, a little side to side. Sway through the hips there, breathing. And then let's turn the knees and toes inward, same thing here. Now, if you're having a hard time getting this sway happening, it'll be that you have your feet too wide and then you can't really move it. Yeah. Breathing. And then let's bring the legs back to parallel. Step 1 foot forward, little side to side sway here. Just go, okay, does this back hip want to move today? How much tension's in it? Maybe the front hip feels tighter to you. Let's switch which foot is forward. Same thing, a little sway here through the hips. Breathing. And then we're going to go to a little bit more of a release through the shoulders. So you line your feet up again, right underneath the pelvis. Then we're just going to bring the hands forward, bring the back of the hands together, and then lead the back of the hands back. Just a little swirly thing through the shoulder just to get it a little bit warmed up. Hands stay about hip height. This is low. And then we're going to go to one arm and let the body turn. Soft knees, let the body turn as you lead the back of the hand around. Breathing. One more of these on this side. And then we're going to go to the other side. Across and open. And right, notice maybe one shoulder is a little stiffer this morning. Maybe you've been gardening, maybe you've been golfing. One more here. And then we're going to go to some squats, yeah? So they're a typical gym squat. I'm just turning sideways so you can see the alignment of my shoulders to my hips and knees. Right? All you're going to do is you're going to come down. As you come down, aim your tail out a little bit so it's not tucked forward, and then come back up again. Shoulders are in front of hips. Knees aim over the center of the foot. I like to bring my hands together as I come down and press through the center of the foot to come up. Now, inhale down, exhale up. And what we're doing when we're doing this, we're mimicking an exercise that is from the reformer, which is a Pilates piece of equipment. This thing right here in front of you is one of those. It's just set up to be a Cadillac right now. And yes, it's not a car. So I want you to step your feet wider, turn your knees out. Same idea. You're gonna come down and press through the center of your foot to come up. Knees aim over the center of your foot as you go down. And you'll notice with this outward rotation, you don't have to lean forward anymore. This is a position that dancers use, right? They call it second position. And our hip joint is actually designed to do this with the body in a upright position and not irritate the knees. Yeah, let's do 2 more here. Pressing through the center of the foot to come up. Last one. Now, right, all we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of balance work while we're here. So I want you to make sure you're not gripping in your bum and thighs. In other words, don't lock out your knee or hip. Bring one foot forward. We're doing a 15 count today. So you're gonna lift the foot up and go 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come on down. You'll notice when I do that, my ankle and knee wobbles. We want that. That's part of balancing. Yeah, get those proprioceptors in our feet working. So other side, right? Bring the knee forward, pick the foot up, and 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll just do that one more time on each side. So bring your other knee forward, pick your foot up. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Pick your knee forward and up, and 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna go to a little bit of pendulum arms right now, just to get the arms into a bigger range of motion. So I want you to just do a little arm swing here. Let that chest turn towards your back hand, and just let the arms drop and see how much they want to come back up again, right? The more we can find this bounce in the tissue, the happier it is, because, right, if we don't have bounce in our tissue, that eventually leads to pain. One more here. Let's take it in front. A little drop and bounce back up again. Soft knees. Breathing. One more here. Now, we're going to do one more standing thing. I'm going to move my iPad to the other side of the room, jump up onto my reformer / Cadillac. Just going to slide that back a bit, angle it a bit. There we go. Okay, this way you can see my feet more easily. Okay, so what we're going to do from here is we're just going to do some heel raises. So, right, you're just going to lift your heels up and come down and up and down. Now, as you're doing this, you want to make sure that your weight is more towards your big toe than your pinky. If it's out near your pinky, your ankles start to do this kind of thing, right? That's nasty on the knees and hips and stuff eventually, right? The other thing we're working on is we're trying to just go straight up, not forward and back. And then we're going to turn them into a Pilates exercise called running. It looks more like prancing than running. All you do is alternate which heel is going up and down. And you're trying to just go straight up and down here, right? You're trying not to go forward and back. And we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we got to stretch out our calves after that. I want you to Step 1 foot forward. I want you to make sure your pelvis is square to the wall in front of you. And then you're just gonna bend your front knee, hanging your knee over the center of your foot and come back. Your knee over the center of your foot and come back. You're really thinking about anchoring that back heel down. If you're not getting much pull through the calf, you can step that front foot a little further forward. Breathing. Let's do 2 more of these, and then we're gonna take it deeper into the calf, a little closer to the bone. The way we do that, bend both knees, straighten both knees. Bend both knees, straighten both knees. Knees are aiming over the center of your foot, yeah? So inside the big toe, inside the pinky toe. Yeah, one more here. Now we're gonna switch which foot is forward. Square your hips to the wall in front of you. And just bend that front knee and come back. And bend the front knee and come back. Aim your knee over the center of your foot. Breathing. And once again, if you're not getting much of a pull in that back calf, you can step your front foot further forward. This is my tighter leg, which is why I'm not doing that. Let's do 2 more of these. Last one. And then we're gonna bend both knees, straighten both knees. Bend both knees, straighten both knees, and straighten, and bend, and straighten, right? Keeping that back heel down. Knees aim over the center of the foot. Doing 2 more of these. Last one. Beautiful. Let's come down onto our hands and knees for a little cat stretch. I'm just going to do a wee lighting adjustment just to make things a little clearer for you. And right, we're going to be on our hands and knees. Hands are right under your shoulders, knees are right under your hips. If you have a tendency towards sore wrists, remember you can be up on your knuckles with your thumbs pointing away from your kneecaps. Another thing you can do is think about really spreading the fingers, which helps get a little bit more activation in the tissue in the forearms, which helps the wrists feel happier. You're going to take an inhale. You're going to exhale, point your tail down at the floor, scoop your back up to the ceiling. Inhale into the back of the ribs. Exhale, flatten back out again. Inhale. Exhale, rounding your back, tail to head, one vertebra at a time. Take an inhale. Exhale, flattening back out again. Let's do 2 more of those. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale, flatten. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale, flatten. Let's make it a 2-breath exercise. So exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. Exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. 1 more of these, round and flattening. Now, when we're flat, just pull your tail to one side and then the other, just to get that spine a little bit more mobile and moving. The rib cage in particular, we want it to be moving. It has a tendency to get stiff. And it's stiff, everything above and below it get angry. 1 more to each side here. And let's go onto our backs to do a little bit of hip roll. So, right. Nothing extra under your head because we're going to be lifting our butts off the floor. I want your feet within the width of your pelvis. And that thing we did earlier with the feet together and open the toes and then open the heels, that's a great way to find that if you have a hard time landmarking, being in alignment with your hip joint when you're on your back. Now, right, you're just going to take an inhale, exhale, find your imprint, press into your feet, and roll on up onto the shoulder blades. Knees are reaching towards toes. Inhale here. And exhale, roll back down again. Take an inhale. Exhale, imprint, press your feet on the floor, lift up, stacking knees over ankles. If you're not getting a little bit of a release in your hip, either you're not tight or your back is arched, so pull that pube bone towards your belly button a little bit, get the thigh working where your thigh and your butt meet, and let's go back down again. We're gonna do 2 more of those. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale. Exhale, rolling back down again. One more here, rolling up. Inhale. Exhale, rolling back down again. Now, if you like something extra under your head, you're gonna grab it, pop it under your head. And the reason we sometimes will have something under our head is because, right, our neck and shoulders are tight. And when we lay on our back, our chin wants to tip towards the ceiling. And if we get our head up on something small, it just helps the neck and shoulders be calmer and helps with the tension in the back of the neck and it to let go a little bit. Quite often I will start class with something under my head. By the end of the class, I don't need it anymore. So let's move on to the shoulder girdle. So I just want you to bring your hands up in front of your chest with your palms facing each other. Now, while we're here, double check your spines in neutral. So does your pelvis feel heavy and your feet light? Does your low back feel light and your ribs heavy? And remember, your low ribs and your back are kind of behind your belly button. Lay down on the floor. Hopefully they are after all that warm up. Now, right, we're going to inhale, reach those fingertips forward towards the ceiling. The shoulder blades come around the sides of the ribs as we do that. And then we're just going to come back until the edge of the shoulder blade kisses the floor. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale, protract. When you're back, your upper back and upper chest are equally wide. That's when the shoulder blade kisses the floor, yeah? Inhale forward, exhale back. One more here, forward and back. Now let's go the other way. Inhale, pinch your shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, come back to where the shoulder blades are just kissing the floor. Inhale, pinch those shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, come back to neutral. One more here. Inhale, retract, which is that pull the shoulder blades together and come back to neutral. Let's do all three positions. So forward, neutral, back, neutral. One more, forward, neutral, back, and neutral. Now, we've been working on the range of motion where when you move your arm back towards your head, we're stopping where if you had your other forearm over your head, the arm you're moving touches your fingertips. Now, if you remember that from last week, play with that right now. So all we're going to do is take an inhale and exhale. We're going to reach both arms back to that same position. Inhale, bring your hands up in front of your chest. As you reach back, your arms will never pass your cheekbones if you're just moving the upper arm bone in a stable shoulder girdle, right? You could take the arms further back, but then you would be changing the shoulder girdle. Let's do one more here. Exhale, reach back. Inhale in front of your chest. Now let's make this an arm scissor. So you're going to inhale, scissor one hand towards your head, the other towards your hip. Exhale, meet in the middle. Inhale, scissor to the other side. Exhale, center. Now, right? Ideally, you're playing with that idea of just moving the humerus bone in that stabilized shoulder girdle, right? So your arm will never drop past your hip or past your head, yeah? One more here. And then let's rest our arms down. We're going to move to our head nod. So I want you to sense the weight of your head on whatever it's resting on right now. And keep that as you do a tiny little nod of your chin towards your chest. And then a little lift of your chin back up again. Inhale, little nod. Exhale, come back to neutral. Inhale, nod. Exhale, neutral. Now, this is more of kind of a face nod than a full head nod. I know that doesn't make sense because your face is part of your head, but people want to do way too big a nod. And this is just a gentle lengthening of the back of the neck because our neck naturally curves forward towards the ceiling. And we're just encouraging it to open backwards towards the floor a little bit. If we do a big head nod, we're just moving right at the base of our skull. And we haven't actually encouraged the whole neck column to do that slight little movement backwards in space because it doesn't like to, just like your low back doesn't like to. Let's go back to the shoulders. So I want you to have your arms a little bit off the floor, palms faced inwards. Find that place where your upper back and upper chest feel equally wide. And just inhale, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, shrug towards your heels. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And we're just working on that shoulder girdle movement, that it can go up and down, right? What does that feel like? Does it feel bumpy and crunchy? If it feels bumpy and crunchy, you might want to make the movement a little smaller. You might want to slow it down a little bit. One more here. Alrighty, ab prep time. So pop your hands behind your head, elbows where your ribs and shoulders are in neutral, so they're not straight sideways. There's no way those shoulders are in neutral there. Now, right, pelvis is heavy, low back's light, ribs are heavy. Inhale, little nod of the head. Now keep your head heavy in your hands as you round through your rib cage to curl up and look at your knees. Inhale, exhale back down again. Inhale, nod, exhale, curl up. When you come up from bra line to belly button, feels heavy on the floor. Then try to keep it on the floor as you come back down again. Inhale, nod. We're just rounding through the rib cage to curl up. Inhale into your back. Exhale back down again. Now you're going to breathe into more than your back when you're up there, but try not to inhale your belly, inflate the belly. And back down again. Let's just do 2 more of those. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. 1 more here. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Let's do a little bit of a chest release here. So just drop your elbows sideways on the floor and let your knees rock to one side and come back to center. Now, as you're doing this action, I want you to think about it being like a yawning stretch, right? So you kind of do that yawning stretch to one side and come back, other side and come back. We're playing a little bit with a thing called pendiculation, but in a very specific way. Pendiculation are yawning stretches. You'll see cats and dogs do it when they get up after they've been laying for a while. 1 more here. Alrighty, let's go on to our tummies. Do a little bit of breaststroke prep, just so we can bend that upper back the other direction. So, all right. You're going to be on your belly. Your hands are going to be beside your head. From fingertip to elbow is on the floor. Your legs are close together. Your kneecaps are pointing down. And you want to feel that you're resting on the middle of your breastbone and the tip of your nose. So you're letting your chest be relaxed on the floor. Quite often people will sort of tense up through their chest to be in this position. Not necessary. I want you to just gently press the top of your foot into the floor. That creates some tension or tone in your legs and your lower core, and that's what we want, well, your lower torso. Now you're going to inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, use your back to lift your upper chest away from the floor. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, extending up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. Now, is the top of your foot still gently pressed into the floor? Exhale as you come up. And exhale down. 1 more here. Exhale as you come up. And exhale down. 2 breaths. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more here. Breaststroke prep number 2. Take your arms alongside the body. Palms face the ceiling. You'll notice when you do that, the shoulders roll forward towards the floor. It's okay. Going to change that in a moment. Top of the foot is still gently pressed into the floor. Inhale, turn your palms inwards to face your thighs, getting your upper back and upper chest equally wide. Exhale, lift up your upper back and come back down again. Ooh, mid-back's part of that too. Inhale, turn your palms in. Exhale, reach up the top of the head as you lift up. Feet are still heavy on the floor. And exhale back down again. Inhale, turn in. Exhale, up. Inhale. And exhale back down again. Let's just push back into our shell stretch. We're going to save that third arm position for later on in class. So, right, you're either going to sit on your heels and do a little side to side rock here, rounding out your back, scooping your belly button in. Or if you're having have major knee or hip discomfort today, just lay on your back, hug your knees and your chest. It'll give you a similar release to what we're doing here. Alrighty, it's time for the 100. So, right. Just going to grab a lozenge for my throat. It's talking to me a bit this morning, and my voice will be better for the rest of class if I do that. So, right, let's go onto our backs. If you like something extra under your head, grab it. Mine's being temperamental and not wanting to come play with me right now. Because right, that way when you start to end the class, your neck's in a happy position. Now, right, if your low back is sore, remember, keep your feet on the floor. If your neck is sore, keep your head on the floor for this exercise. We're going to take inhale, exhale, find the imprint, right? So the low back is long and heavy on the floor, but not pushed hard in the floor. Bum muscles are not part of this at all. If they're engaged, soften them a bit and see if you can get that length in the low back coming from the core. Now, right, I want you to lift one leg at a time up to tabletop, squeeze your legs together. Inhale, nod your chin in. Exhale, coming up if you're coming up. And go in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 10. Sniff. Blow. 20. If you want to make it harder, straighten your legs. Out, 2, 3, 4, 30. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 40. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 50. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 60. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 70. In. It's starting to go in your neck. Put your head down. Out, 2, 3, 4, 80. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 90. In. Out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lay on down. You can bring your knees into your chest if you had your legs up. A little side to side rock through those legs. Right? If you didn't have your legs up because you're like, oh, my low back wouldn't like that today, don't have your legs up to this. Right? And actually, the big contraindication for doing what I'm doing right now is if you're having any sort of sciatic pain or disc compression issues, this is not a good position for that. Yeah. So, right, then you do it with your feet on the floor. But let's come to a seated position. Easy way up. Just grab your leg and pull yourself up. And I just want to do a little bit of external rotation of that humerus bone before we move on. Right, that humerus bone is our upper arm bone. And right, everything we do all day long is kind of with our hands here, which is internal rotation. If we get there too much, then we can't like lift our arms anymore. So, right, you want to have your elbows alongside your body. You want your arms parallel to each other, a little bit of a right angle on that elbow. And you want to have your elbow a little bit dropped forward because that helps your collarbones be wide and your shoulder blades, that tip of the shoulder blade to suck forward against the back of the ribs, which is where we want to be. We're going to have a little support through the core. And then you're just going to pull the back of the hands away from each other and come back in again. Exhale, pull the back of the hands away from each other. Inhale, come back in again. Now, while you're doing this exercise, notice my arms aren't getting 100% sideways. What you're looking for is to feel some work right through the back of the shoulder to counteract the fact that we always have our hands towards this inward position rather than the outward position. Yeah. Exhale, pull the hands away from each other, inhale in. And if you tighten your chest, you might be feeling some tension there as you pull the hands away from each other. That's okay. That's giving it a bit of release because we're looking for a sense of compression in the back. Because compression moves us, tension is what we feel on the opposite side of our body. Last one of these. Now, we're going to do a little bit of half roll back, which is the one where when we're in our C curve, we're rocking backwards and forwards on our bum, but we have our feet on the floor for this one. So, right, you're going to scoop your back round. If back of your neck is bugging you, lift the back of your head up towards the ceiling a bit. You're just putting too much pressure through the neck. Then reach your arms out. Shoulder blades are like a waterfall going down your back. Think about pulling that pube bone towards your belly button. softening through the front of the rib cage. Now you're going to try and keep this round shape, and exhale, rock backwards on your bum, and inhale, rock forwards. Exhale, rock back, and inhale, rock forward. As you go back, your pubic bone's going to be pulling towards your belly button so that you really feel the movement of the hip joint. Sometimes people try to rock back and forth without moving the hip joint. And this is actually a hip joint movement that creates this. And then you're trying to create extra mobility in your low back. And our low back has a limit to that. And that's because there's a lot of weight above our low back that we're carrying around. You don't want your low back super mobile. One more here. Exhale, rock back, and inhale, rock forward. Now, we're gonna do 4 slow roll downs today. So arms are out, you're in your C curve, take an inhale. Exhale, going backwards, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And right, we're going to come back up again. Easy way to come up is you can always grab behind one leg and pull yourself back up again if coming up off your back is challenging for you. Let's do that again. Find your C curve. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up again. 2 more of those. Exhale, going back. 10, 9, 8. Push through your feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up again. So if the feet want to lift every time, you want to have a real sense of pushing through those feet to get the back line of the body a little bit more active on this. Find your C curve again. Last one. Exhale, going back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, we're going to stay down here this time. If you like something extra under your head, pop it under your head. And we're going to go to a little bit of single leg circle here. So feet are within the width of the body, back's in neutral. Now, before we go there to the actual single leg circle, I just want you to tune into the back of your rib cage, between your shoulder blades and your belly button. Can you sense the back of the rib cage moving on the floor as you breathe? Ideally, you can. And as you inhale, right, maybe there's a little bit more pressure through that part of your back into the floor. And as you exhale, it decreases. And if you can sense that, that's the beginning of helping your low back and neck be happier. Yeah. Let's move on to your single leg circle. So, right, back's in neutral. You're going to lift one leg up to tabletop, which is that right angle at the knee and the hip, or take that leg to a straight leg position if that's a comfortable place for you to hang out. If this isn't comfortable, do it with a bent leg. Now, we're going to go inside to outside with that circle. Inhale to start your circle, exhale to finish it. Most important thing, torso hardly moves at all. There's 4 and 5. Other direction, outside to inside, 2, 3. So I'd rather see a really small circle with no sort of wiggle and woggle through the hips. There's 5, and place the foot down, rather than like trying to make your leg do the shape like a hula hoop and then pelvis and stuff is all over the place. Let's do the other side. So we're gonna go to tabletop or straight leg. Are you still in neutral? You're gonna bring your leg across center, around to the outside, back to where you started. Inhale to start your circle, exhale to finish it. This is 3. The exhale was most of that circle. 4, 5. Other direction, outside to inside. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And place your foot down. And let's come to a seated position. We're going to go to our spine twist. So if you need to sit on a yoga block, sit up straight out of your low back, pop it into your butt. You could have your legs crossed like I do. You could have straight legs with the legs tight together. You could do diamond legs. Most important thing, that the back is not collapsed, but a little bit lifted out of that low back, and you feel the sit bones pointing at the floor. Now, right, we can either have hands on ribs or arms out to the outside. I want you to pick something at eye level in front of you to look at. If your arms are out, do a little finger wiggle. If you can't see your fingers wiggling in your peripheral vision, your arms are too far back, and then your shoulders kind of pop forward. Yeah, and we don't want that. You'll open through the collarbones, 3 inhales to turn, going in, 2, 3, exhale, center, other side, 2, 3, exhale, center, in, 2, 3, exhale, center, other side, 2, 3, exhale, center, in, 2, 3, exhale, center. Looking at that back hand, or maybe your back elbow a little bit as you go around, because your neck is part of your spine. We want to get that spine moving, right? We're trying to get rid of low back pain, neck pain, in and center, last side, in, 2, 3, and center. So we're going to roll like a ball. If you have a history of osteoporosis, this is not a good exercise for you. Or if you're having any disc or sciatica issues, yeah? And if that's the case, we just went around our back after that. So you could go back to cat stretch, which is the one where we're on our hands and knees, rounding and flattening our back. However, let's try a little bit of rolling like a ball if you got a body that likes the idea of that. Now, right, you want to be far enough forward on your mat that you have space behind you to roll and land on your mat. And the trick is keeping your back round when you do this. You're going to scoop backwards into your C curve and then sneak your feet in closer, closer, closer. When they lift up off the floor, that's the balance point on your butt. You're going to try not to come further forward than this again. Legs are together. You're looking at your knees. Your elbows are pointing at the floor. You're going to inhale, rock back, lifting your bum off the floor and come back up again. Now, ideally, when you get back there, you're right up on your shoulder blades with your head off the floor. Inhale back, exhale forward. You're trying not to pump your legs if you have to get back up again. Totally fine, but you're trying to keep your legs 100% the same the whole time. Inhale back, exhale forward. Now, here's the fun thing. If that breath doesn't work, try the other one. Sometimes people need the exhale to go back. One more here. Inhale back and exhale forward. Beautiful. Alrighty. Slow roll down to get onto our back. So legs are bent, arms are out. Find your C curve, drop your shoulders, take an inhale. Rolling back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay down here. We're going to do a little bit of our core work, keeping the back in neutral. So if you like something extra under your head, pop it under your head and double check you're in neutral. So, right, pelvis is heavy, low back's light, feet are light, right? If your feet are heavy, it's hard to be in neutral, yeah? And ribs are heavy, right? And if they're lifted, take an exhale like a side. They got to learn how to calm down one of these days. Let's bring the arms up in front of your chest, palms facing each other now, right? If your arms are sore today, shoulders are sore, you can cross your hands on your chest for this. You're going to take an inhale, exhale, slowly lift one leg up to tabletop. Exhale, slowly take it back down again. Same leg, slowly up. Now, when you're up here, did your other foot get really heavy when you lifted? Hopefully it didn't. Let's go back down again. One more here. Exhale, lift. Pelvis is still heavy. The foot on the floor is still light. Now let's stay here. Exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, bend. We're doing 5 of those. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Most important thing, that we're not letting those ribs flare as the legs straighten, right? The back of the ribs, around your bra line, below your shoulder blades, stays heavy on the floor. One more here. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, and put your foot down. Other side, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lift your leg to tabletop and slowly take it down. Slowly lift. Is your other foot still light on the floor? Is your pelvis still heavy? And slowly down. Are your ribs still heavy? Slowly lift. Are you tightening your shoulders? You don't need to. Now let's straighten that leg and bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. The other foot stays light on the floor the whole time. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. 2 more here. Straighten and bend. Last one. Straighten and bend. And put your foot down. Rest your arms a little side to side. Rock through the knees. After that is always nice. Now, from here, we're going to go to some oblique work. So take your hands behind your head. Your elbows are in the edge of that, well, not the edge of the peripheral vision. When I say that, people take their elbows super wide, right? But they're not pointing straight up at the ceiling. They're where you feel the edges of the shoulder blades kissing the floor. And I know that's a hard thing to find. It took me a long time to find, but the elbows are more up than wide on this. Now, right, if you want to make it harder, you're going to find your imprint, lift your legs to tabletop, right? If you have sciatica, keep the feet on the floor. Inhale, nod, exhale, curl up. Now, when you're here, think left shoulder to right knee, stay high when you come to the middle, right shoulder to left knee, stay high in the middle, and come back down again. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, exhale as you rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, put your head down. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, exhale, rotate. Other side and down. Are your legs staying quiet? Exhale, up. Inhale, exhale, rotate. Other side and back down again. One more here. Curling up. Opposite shoulder to knee. Opposite shoulder to knee. And down. Let's place the feet down if you had them up. Drop your elbows right down to the floor sideways. Rock your knees side and center a couple of times. Just go, okay, is this yawning stretch different than it was earlier? Does things feel like they're moving differently through the chest wall and the hips when I do this? Mine certainly is smoother. One more here. A little more range of motion. I like it. Alrighty. So from here, where we're gonna go is we're going, actually, let's do a little shoulder bridge. Sorry, had a little mind change there. So, right, shoulder bridge, keeping the back straight, lifting your bum off the floor. So, right feet are within the width of the pelvis. Collarbones are wide. Take an inhale, exhale, press your feet to the floor, lift up till the front of the hip is flat. Inhale, hold, exhale, back down again. So after all that stuff we just did with our legs up, ideally you're feeling stretching the front of the hip. If you're not, your back is arched at the top. So you're going to take an inhale, you're going to exhale, pressing your feet and lift, and feel like you're trying to pull your heels from your bum and your pube going towards your nose. That'll flatten the front of the hip a bit more. And back down again. Take an inhale. Exhale, press your feet on the floor and lift. Right, pube bone to nose, heels away from bum. Inhale. Exhale, back down again. We'll do one more here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. Now, we're going to add on. I'm giving you 3 options today. 1, when your bum is up, just lift one heel at a time, alternating heels. 2, one leg at a time goes to tabletop, alternating legs, 3 times on each side. The hardest one of the bunch is you try and keep your foot flexed and barely lift your foot off the floor and put it back down again. Like you just slightly decompress that foot, put it down. It makes the other side have to work super hard to not shift or twist. Because remember, this is about not shifting or twisting. So, right, heel lift, easiest, whole foot barely off the floor with the foot still flexed, hardest of the bunch. Let's try her out. So take an inhale. Exhale, lift up, do what's appropriate to your body. Inhale, lift one foot, exhale down. Inhale, lift your other foot, exhale down. First foot again, and down. Are your hips still at the top? And down. One more on each side. And down, last one, and down. Take an inhale. Exhale, put your bum down. Let's straighten out the legs, let them roll in and out. Because, right, that will be serious hamstring stuff And right, it's a great way to get them to let go a little bit after that. So, right, let's come over onto our tummies, do a little bit of work on our fronts. So, right, we're going to do a little bit of one leg kick, which is the double knee bend. You can either do it down flat where I am right now on your chest with your hands under your forehead, or you can be up on your elbows. Now, remember, if this irritates your knees, flat down is a better choice. Minimize your knee bend, have your knees a little further apart. But ideally, our legs are within the width of our body. Collarbones are wide, two bones pulled forward. Inhale to prepare. Bend your leg, pull your toe in, pull your heel in, straighten your leg. Other leg goes toe, heel, straighten. Toe, heel, and straighten. If you're up on your elbows, the only thing on the floor is your forearms and the front of your thighs. And you're thinking about pressing that upper thigh into the floor, getting your butt engaged to help make that happen. Because the tendency is when we do our knee bend, that our bum will relax, and that is not a healthy patterning for your hips and low back. Toe, heel, and straighten. Toe, heel, straighten. Other side, toe, heel, and straighten. Now we're going to come down to hands under our forehead if you aren't already there. I want you to open your legs to a V shape, bend your knees, and bring your heels together. Now, right, remember how earlier I said we were going to do our third breaststroke prep later on in class? Here we are. So belly buttons in. We just have our legs in an unusual position. We have them in our heel squeeze position. So from here, you're going to inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift your head away from your hands. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, hold. And exhale, down. Having your legs in this position, you might feel more work in your bum and the back of your legs than you normally do. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Now, we're going to make it a 2-breath exercise. You're just going to exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. One more here, lift. And down. And we're just going to do a little bit with the legs while we're here. So keep your head down. You're just going to exhale, press heel to heel, and feel how your butt and your hamstring goes. Oh, hello. And then you're just going to release the pressure heel to heel. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. One more here. Squeeze and release. Good. Let's just straighten out your legs and push back into your shell stretch. So, right, you can either sit back over your heels, rounding out your back, little side to side rock, or you could be on your back, hugging your knees into your chest, little side to side rock there. Whatever feels better on your body. And we're going to do some side leg work. So we're going to start with our kick again today. So I want you to make sure that when you set yourself up, there's room to kick your leg, your top leg forward and back, and not hit furniture. Great way to get your that 45-degree angle at that hip joint, remember, is you put your back along the back line of your mat and then just pike your legs forward, getting your feet off the front edge of the mat. And that will help you have that nice 45 at the hip, which helps us balance in this position. Now, right, you don't want to be on the back of that greater trochanter, right? You want to be a little bit on the front, right? In the greater trochanter is this bone in the side of your thigh. It's part of your femur. It's bumpy part of your femur that sticks out. And right, you want the sides of the ribs on the floor, but not the side of the waist. So you're not letting that sit bone, that top sit bone collapse towards the top of your head. Now, right, hand can be down, hand can be on your leg. If you want to be really fancy, stick it up in the air and kick forward and back and try not to sway your arm back and forth. You're going to lift your top leg up just a little bit off the floor. Foot is flexed. Kick it forward twice. Going inhale, inhale. Exhale, pull your leg behind you. Forward, inhale, inhale. exhale, pull back. Now this is that bounce aspect that we want in our fascia again. So as you kick forward, it's bounce, bounce, and pull back, and bounce, bounce, and pull back. Now we're trying not to roll backwards as we kick forwards. We're trying to stay fully upright. Bounce, bounce, and pull back. Your top sit bone keeps reaching away from the top of your head to help get you a little bit of a, tensioning in the back of the leg, right? Otherwise, we're just working on the tension of the whole back line of the body, and we're trying to find that feeling of stretch in the back of the leg. Yeah, in, and exhale, pull back. Now, straight line from your head to your feet. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. You're just going to lift your top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot, reach up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. You're going to inhale as you go up and exhale as you come down. Inhale up and exhale down. I still have the side of my waist off the floor the whole time. I'm not going to lift high enough that I lose that because I'm trying to keep my pelvis stable, and I'm trying not to let my leg creep forward as I lift it up and down. It's just staying right above the other one. Let's go to staggered leg. Now, right, if your hips hate staggered leg or your low back does, top knee drops forward and we just lift and lower that bottom leg. Otherwise, you're going to inhale, lift the top leg, exhale, lift the bottom leg, take them both down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze your legs together and down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze and down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze and down. One more here. Up, squeeze and down. Double leg lift, 5 of them today. Exhale, lift. 2, 3. See how I'm trying to keep the side of my waist off the floor. 4 and 5. All righty. Let's do it on the other side, peeps. So we're going to start with our kick. So, right, you want those legs at a 45-degree angle. You want to make sure your hip isn't rolled back, that the side of your waist is off the floor, your feet are flexed, and you're going to lift your top leg up, kick it forward twice, going inhale, inhale, exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. Forward, in, exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. In, exhale, reach. In, exhale, reach. In, exhale, reach. 2 more. In, exhale, reach back. 1 more. In, and reach. Straight line from your head to your feet. And you're going to lift your top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot, reach up, flex, bring it down, point. Inhale to go up, exhale to come down. Inhale to go up, exhale to come down. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down. Staggered leg. Inhale, lift the top leg. Exhale, lift the bottom leg, take them down. Up, squeeze, and down. Now, if you're not sure if your pelvis is moving when you do your leg movement and you're comfortable having your hand off the floor, if you put your hand where mine is, you can feel this top side of the pelvis moving. You don't want it to move. Yeah. Alrighty, let's go to double leg lift. So exhale, lift, inhale down. Exhale, lift, inhale down. Reach out your feet to lift, and down. 2 more, lift, and down. Last one, lift, and down. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go to a little bit of spine stretch forward right now. So I just want you to sit up. You can either sit with your feet shoulder distance apart, or you can go to your diamond legs. Hands are on the front of the legs. Feel tall at the top of the head. Collarbones are wide. Take an inhale, exhale, start with your head round forward. Inhale into your back. Exhale back up again. Now what we're looking for when we do this exercise, exhale go down, is a sense of tension somewhere in your spine between the base of your skull and your tail. Or just giving it a little bit of a stretch. Exhale as you round forward, and wherever you're tightest between those 2 places, you'll get the stretch. And back up again. But so it's not about trying to touch your feet. It's about trying to go up and over an invisible railing above your belly button. And back up again. Exhale as you go down. Inhale. And exhale as you come back up again. Now, let's just go to a little bit of swan dive prep just to do that bigger back extension to counteract all of the sitting we're doing these days. So come on over onto your belly. Hands are beside your head. Legs are open to a V shape. Now don't get them as wide as your mat. They're inside your mat. And I want you to find the muscles in your bum that pull your heels towards the middle a little bit. And all that does is take your kneecaps from pointing straight down to pointing slightly outwards. We're not trying to get them straight sideways. Now, right? A little tension in the abdominals, right? They're not slack. You're going to inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, use your back muscles to come up onto your elbows. Then use your arms and your bum to come higher. You're kind of like a little baby looking out across the room and come back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, ideally you're getting a bit of a stretch on the front of the hip and back down again. Inhale, exhale up. So right, those ASIS points where we think the hip bones come off the floor, the front of the thigh is into the floor. Yeah, back down again. Exhale up, reaching out your toes at the top to help the bum work and come back down again. Good. We're just going to go into our shell stretch, folks. Last one of the day. Sitting back over your heels or rounding out your back, like laying on your back, hugging your knees into your chest. 3 big breaths here. And that's all the time we have to play today. Hope to connect with you again real soon. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me and doing some Pilates.